Good morning. So I was making some tea and then I stopped because I realized that tea does not get the same kind of attention, the same kind of love and prominence as coffee does. And so as tea drinkers of the world, I think that we should unite and change this and just give tea the kind of love that it deserves, okay? Because it warms us, it takes care of us, it makes us happy, and on a dreary, overcast, dark, clouded day, tea makes you feel good. A fun fact, I realized that if you are a person who grew up in a mostly sunny area, let's say Cape Town, and you then start living in an area that has more winter, and not as much sun as what you're used to, it might be good to take vitamin D. And I thought I was depressed at some point until I realized that it had something to do with the weather, because the weather does affect me quite heavily. Maybe I was depressed at some points, but that's okay. We're also going to talk about therapy. So stay tuned for some for some tea making and some tea on therapy. I've never used the word tea in that context, but yeah. I know that there are people in other parts of this world who actually use kettles that are electric kettles. I don't have one, but I have this, and it works just as well. You know what I don't get? I don't get why anybody would ever boil their water in a microwave. Like, that's uncouth. That's not okay. It's not okay. And we're gonna pray for you and your life in general, because it's not okay to boil your water in the microwave. I mean, sure, if you have to do it, do it. But why? If you want good tea, either use your electric kettle, for those who have it. Do I miss an electric kettle? No, I don't. So I'm not gonna be sad about not having one, because I also do like the sound of this kettle when the water is ready. This is gonna stop boiling soon, so let me get to it before it makes the big sound. So you're gonna need some salt, and you're gonna need your tea bags, and you're gonna need your honey. I've already, as I said, I was already making my tea, so it's already started over here. However, I drink several, maybe 3 or 4 cups of tea in a day, so I'm gonna prepare the other one ahead of time for your viewing pleasure. First things first, you need a reliable cup. Here we go. It is so loud, but I like it a lot. I like it. It makes me feel like I'm living my dreams. Like, I have a farmhouse in a beautiful plot, and like I have wooden cutlery and cutting boards, and I bake bread, I take care of my family, I go for long walks, it feels so good. Let's hear it again. Just for the sake of dreaming, you know? It's coming. Anyway, so maybe that's another reason I like making tea with my kettle. It just takes me to like, it just brings it makes me feel the dream, you know? Okay, enough about me and my dream. Here we go. The stove is still on. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the honey, I don't measure. I just like a tiny drop of it. So put as much as you want, I suppose. And here's the magic ingredient. Salt. I know. I know what you're thinking. Salt. Yes, salt. Just a little pinch of it. If you like specific instructions, then I suppose you can put 1 part salt and 2 part honey, and it tastes so good. The salt brings everything together. The salt ensures that your tea isn't flat, you know? It just kind of rounds it up nicely. I promise you, if you try it, it works. It makes it fuller. It makes it rounded off. It makes it complete. Okay, so try salt. I'm right-handed, so that whole left-handed thing was a bit of a struggle. This is where you get to make your choice, all right? Once you have let your tea sit for, they say, 3 minutes. In fact, let's time that. Let's time 3 minutes. I never wait 3 minutes, but I'm gonna wait 3 minutes with you. So we're gonna go ahead and get the timer, okay? So there's our timer. 3 minutes. How does this work? This is 5 minutes. So 3 minutes would be here. Wait, be 3. So this is 3 minutes. Okay, this is not that hard, Marissa. This is not that hard, really. There we are. Ow! It should have been 3 minutes by now. I don't think it's working. Or maybe that's it ringing. This is why I don't use this. It's supposed to go ding! Oh well. 3 minutes is up. This is where you get to make your decision. Do you drink your tea with or without milk? I used to drink it with cow's milk until I dated this guy and he really liked this other kind of milk, and I tried it and I loved it. And the relationship never worked out, but I kept the milk tips. So, Oatly. Another side of our packaging providing no reason at all why you should try this product. I'm a fan. Aesthetic milk shot. Cheers. Let's talk therapy. So we can call this like tea time or something, and maybe make it a series. Tea time with Precious. Tea time with me. Have tea with me. Tea time. Tea time with me. Tea time with me. Have some tea with me. It's so good. It's so good. I can feel it running through my body. I can feel it comforting my sinuses. I feel it warming up my face. Make yourself some tea. So good. So about therapy. I am an advocate for therapy. I think that when you need help, you need to ask for it. You need to go to a professional who can help you. I also do understand that we have family and we've got friends, we've got people whom we can talk to about anything that we need to talk about, something bothering you, something that you're going through. However, I do think that we need to respect our relationships with our family, or relationships with our friends, enough to understand that your friend is not your therapist. You know, they're just not. It's not fair to you. No. It's not fair to expect other people in your life to be your therapist. Sure, you can discuss things and be open with each other, right? But when there is something in your life that's ongoing, a habit that doesn't serve you, or an experience, or some sort of trauma, even though you can have discussions with a friend or a family member, I really think that it would better serve your life if you are able to seek professional help. Why? Okay. So I'm going to share kind of like a bit of my experience with therapy. I think I had my first therapist maybe 7, 8, 9, maybe 8 years ago. And before then, I had never had therapy. It wasn't a thing. Like, I was just like, why? And when I had my first therapy session, I thought, okay, so you are going to sit for an hour and you're going to listen to me talk, which for a talkative person is a really nice thing. Not only are you going to sit and listen, but you're going to help me to better understand certain habits, recurring habits in my life that I want to change, but also gain further perspective. And, you as a therapist or psychologist, you have studied human psychology and emotions and blah, blah, and all the other things, and insert fancy words. And therefore, I have this great opportunity to be open and hold nothing back and just share, and you're going to help me work through some things. So for this reason, I think therapy is an excellent choice for anybody. I am not a person who likes to consistently be in therapy. I use it as an opportunity where if there are things in my life that are overflowing so much and I feel so hectically overwhelmed, and that none of the tools that I currently use, journaling or swimming or whatever else, are helping me, then I know it's time to seek therapy. Or if I'm having like a panic attack or something, then I will definitely call my therapist. And so I just think it's a nice, maybe it's a tool. It's a good tool to have in your pocket. So then here's the next step: finding the right therapist. As I said, why do I keep getting closer to the microphone? I think I'm getting really like passionate about the conversation. So I'm like, listen up. So I have had a few therapists over the years, and I've had some good ones. And the reason why it's been different people is because I've moved a lot. And there was one where I knew it wasn't a good fit. So it's either because I moved or it wasn't a good fit with that particular therapist. So that's another very important point. When you are, let's say you've never had therapy before, let's just say you've never done therapy. When you're looking for a therapist, it's like the right shoe, you know? You can love the shoe and it might look really good, but when you put it on your feet, it just doesn't work for you. It hurts, it's going to give you bunions and whatever else. And no, that's not the right shoe for you, okay? So try another one. So that's the same with therapy. With therapist, when you're looking for a therapist, you need to find the right fit for you. Like the best therapist for me might not be the best therapist for you. Okay, so I haven't been in therapy for maybe 2 years. Yeah, it's been, or 18 months, somewhere along 2 years, 18 months or so. And my last therapist she's like my favorite, really. Ouch, I hit my teeth. That's so good. My last therapist was a godsend. They've all been very, 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 very wonderful in different ways. I remember one therapist that taught me a lot about relationships. And what he taught me was that you've got to understand that the other person is a human being too. So don't spend your time nitpicking. You got to make your choices. You got to allow the other human to be simply, a human being, so that you have the opportunity for them to allow you to be a human being. And you two have to find a way to coexist together in a humane way. I know that this is so obvious to other people, but it wasn't so obvious to me at the time. So that therapist really helped me to be less anal about every little thing and having everything so perfect and wanting the other person to be so perfect. And I was very, very thankful for that therapist. And I learned a lot about relationships from that man. And then my next therapist, I had multiple therapists when I lived in New York for different reasons. And one of them was a very systematic, organized woman. And I liked this woman so much. She wasn't emotional in any way. She would listen to what I had to say, but she was very practical. She would give me assignments. And these assignments were very simple. It was like, okay, this week I would like you to go and have a yoga class or meet another person and spend time with them. It was perfect for me at the time because I was super antisocial during that period, and it was impacting my mental health, just being really removed from people. And so she helped me to sort of get back into society. And yeah, she was good in doing that. And she made me believe that I could be a person living a normal life with other people again. I liked her a lot. And she would also make lists, you know? I'm a list person. So we vibe big time. Like, like, yeah. And then there was an art therapist, and she also touched a certain part of my personality. She was free-spirited, a little chaotic, never quite organized, just showed up, you know? And I guess I looked up to her because there was a part of me that is like that, but that wasn't at the surface, like it wasn't visible. I had buried that part of me deep down. And so this woman, just being her, was really inspirational. I don't remember us actually talking, but I remember us painting and listening to music and conversation would naturally come from that. With her, it was just about who she was that touched me. So yeah, and then about 2 years later, I launched my art career after not painting for 16 years. So I'm very grateful to that therapist. I really, really am. And then I did some group therapy. Fast forward to my most recent therapist, the one that I hadn't seen in about 2 years. I loved this woman so much. Every therapist was necessary for that particular period and for what I needed at that time. But if I had to pick a favorite, like if you forced me to pick a favorite, this woman, this therapist was my absolute favorite. I loved her so much. And I think she liked me too. I think I feel like we respected each other as human beings. She was also a foreigner. And I never knew that would be important, but I think at that time I just wanted to be understood from that perspective of being a foreign person in another country. So there was a connection there from that. She was also super chic and beautiful, but in an alternative sort of way, not in a mainstream beauty kind of way. And she was so interesting to be around and to look at. And I remember when towards the end of our therapy relationship, I don't know what you call it, I would sort of dress up a little better when I go to therapy, because a part of me really wanted to impress her. I don't know why I wanted to impress my therapist. And then I started noticing that even the way I would structure what I'm saying, I would try to be really smart and come across as super sophisticated and classy and And I don't know why I did that. No, I do. I really wanted her to like me. I wanted to be her friend, in fact, and that's when I knew that our relationship had come to an end. Because, no, why do you want to impress your therapist? That defeats the point, You're there to discuss things just to be honest, not to curate yourself so that you appear a certain way. So I was like, yeah, no, that's just what was happening. I felt like I was just playing with my money because it was $100 a session or 120 a session. So I stopped, and I still utilize many of the tools that she taught me. The main thing I learned from her was how to first of all speak yourself from an anxiety-ridden place. So if you're experiencing something in your life and it just all feels too much, you feel overwhelmed, and if you've ever had that where your head is just and it feels like a lot. She helped me know how to speak myself back to sanity. So for that, I will forever be grateful. And the second thing she did for me, she helped me see many good things about myself. She really did. One of those things was that I'm a compassionate person. Before having therapy with her, I never used the word compassion so much. I don't think it was really in my vocab. And I would discuss things, and then she said to me one time, you really know how to put yourself in another person's shoes, even if that other person has been unlovely towards you, but you have a way of seeing every aspect of a situation, your side, their side, the other person's side, a universal perspective, and therefore make a decision that is well informed. I had never examined that part of myself. I had never heard those words being used towards me. And when she said it, and I looked into my life, and I looked at my life, I realized that she was right. and her pointing that good thing out really helped me. It really did. And I'll forever be grateful. Huh? So I guess this was all to say that get therapy if you need it. And don't be afraid to, why am I standing like this? Awkward camera angles. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think it's a very brave and courageous thing to do, to ask for help. And it's okay. It's okay. We all need it from time to time. Some of us more than others. It's okay. Get the help that you need, and therapy is actually a very good thing. So is a cup of tea. Bye.